this wildfire shit goes on year after year after year, and it gets really bad every 4 to 6 years, like clockwork. It's like we're not fucking learning here.
That's correct.
You know why they're not learning? Because there's not enough fucking pain. Pain is the ultimate fucking teacher here.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we the average people are going to have to, bear most of that fucking pain. And that's completely unfair. These elite assholes who are making these fucking regulations that are ruining everyone's fucking life, running our jobs out of the country, making everything uber expensive, they need to be put in check. The average person needs to start running for office locally and work their way up. We need average people, common sense, running the show, not these idiots who come right out of some of these Ivy League colleges who don't know dick fuck, and they want to run your fucking life. They never even lived a real life.
I am going to mash your pause button real quick.
I am so fucking pissed.
Hang on.
I got a drink!
I got an idea.
All right.
I got an idea. I know how to fight the Bolsheviks.
Oh, God damn it.
There, I said it. Bolsheviks. Bolsheviks. Now drink.
I love that one. I love that one. Okay. Thank you, Jimmy. We needed a moment of levity. That was good shit. So seriously, though, I want you to hear me out. I've been talking about this for a couple of days. I think I mentioned this to you the other day even. There are right now hundreds of thousands of us veterans over the last 20 years of being chewed through the system. I'm talking about the guys that are not 71 Limas and supply guys. Maybe some of the supply guys, they're pretty squared away. They
You're talking the ground pounders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are enough of us in every state in the country where we veterans need to all go read the Battle of Athens, Tennessee, 1946. You need to know that story. You need to know what happened there, and you need to know why it failed. It failed because they rested on their laurels and didn't follow through. You've got to follow through. Here's what I'm saying. All of the veterans in all of the states, we need to suck it up and do one last mission. And that one last mission is to get elected to every local, city, township, and county seat you can. We have to start taking back this country. The veterans that spent the last 20 years at war, we've got to do one last mission, and it sucks. But that's the whole point. We know it sucks.
Yeah, we've been there.
But we know what the suck is. Now, if we get into these township seats, these county seats, these city seats, if the veterans start taking these things in all 50 states, we don't even have to take all 50 states, we just have to take 2/3 of them. Then we start to get real control and we can put things back the way that they're supposed to be. And we all know that if a bunch of us bands together, it's like you walk into a bar off post at Fort Bragg and you're from Fort Campbell and you walk in and you start making 82nd Airborne jokes.
Yeah, that's not going to go over.
That's not going to last for you. I guarantee you.
Yeah, you're going to get checked on that
one. We're hard to bully once we start taking seats, once we take enough of these seats, and we can shove these people around the way they shoved us around. We know how to laugh in your face and not slap you out of the way. It is time, I think, that the veterans in this country, there's 20 years of us right now, start taking back seats so that this shit that we're looking at in California, this garbage that's happening in our countries, in our counties, in our states, doesn't happen because we know how to make it not happen. We could take the seats and the governments in these counties and these states and turn this whole damn thing around. Illegal immigration? No, you're not doing that. But you have to because no, we're not doing it. Why? Because it's stupid. That's why.
Yeah.
And veterans know how to back that shit down. I think it's time. I honest to God think it's time that 20 years of veterans got off the couch for one last mission. We know it's going to suck. We know we're not going to win everything, but we can take enough of it. There's hundreds of thousands of us in all 50 states. We need to seriously think about it.
Yeah.
Because
correct.
shit like LA is going to happen in your city next. It's going to happen in your state next. It's going to happen in your county next. I guarantee it. How do we know this? We just saw it.
Well, it's already
North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, bam.
Yeah.
Now LA.
But it's already happening in major blue cities. And it has been going on for about half a century. Like Baltimore is a shithole. Trump got all kinds of problems because he told the truth. Detroit is a fucking shithole. My mother graduated from Cooley High School in Detroit in like 1946. And it was in the top 15 best high schools in the country back then. It doesn't exist anymore. And in the 70s, people got killed there on the regular. And that's happening, like, I'm at like 9.5 Mile Road. 8 Mile is where Detroit starts. And it's an absolute shit show in that city. To this day, their homicide clearance rate is barely 50%. And that's just recently. It was in the 20% half a decade ago.
2 years ago, I was down in Eastern Market at one of the butcher shops and talking to this guy. He was one of the county coroner assistants for Wayne County. And we got to talking about, because he was around our age and how great the 80s was in Detroit. He's like, now, man, it's like if you commit a murder in Detroit, it's not getting investigated past the actual scene.
Wow.
He says there is so much coming through the coroner's office right now that unless it's some high profile motherfucker, nothing's getting investigated. And this was from one of the county coroners in Wayne County standing there in front of me telling me this stuff.
Wow.
So nothing gets investigated past the actual scene unless it's something high profile.
And I'm going to tell you right now, we can lay this blame right at the feet of the Democrat progressives.
Yeah. And it's the same thing that's going on in California.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing that's going on in California right now.
I mean, I literally don't think LA is going to bounce back. And if it does, it's going to take 2 decades at a minimum. Because there's a lot of those people are going, you know what? Fuck this. I was waiting from a sign from God, and I just got it. I'm out of this fucking state.
Yeah.
And they're
the Vegas housing market is under pressure right now.
Yes.
As of today, Vegas housing market is reporting that they're getting all kinds of traffic out of California.
Yep.
People are done. One of the big things, one of the problems that the liberals always screw up, and they did this with Detroit, which was called the Paris of the Midwest.
Yes.
Detroit was the Paris. It was one of the wealthiest cities in the country. And the second the progressives got in charge,
Coleman Young?
It was before that. It was in the 60s. When they started to take the county seats and the city seats before they got to the mayor's slot with Coleman Young. The money left the city. And then the leftists who had all these plans for all of Detroit's wealth were left holding the bag, and the city fell into the shitter. And the same thing is happening to LA right now. All of the money's going to leave. Any money that's left in Los Angeles is about to walk out the door.
I mean, that's one of the main reasons the suburbs around Detroit are so affluent still. Is in the 60s, in the 70s, they called it white flight.
Yep.
They just said, you know what? Screw this city. I'm moving out of here.
Yeah.
And they took their money with them.
Yeah. In 1970, the suburb that my dad bought a house in, he bought a 4-bedroom colonial on a lake in a brand new subdivision, $33,000.
Wow.
That same house today is almost $500,000. That exact house. But it was the only suburb in the area. Everything else was farms.
Mm-hmm.
was corn and cows and melon farms and cucumber farms. Unbeknownst to the rest of the world, Michigan produces an extremely large number of pickles.
Yes.
We also produce an alarming number of sugar beets and potatoes, too. Anyway, the point being, that's what the white flight was. These suburbs started to pop up. When I was a kid, there was that one suburb in Shelby.
Mhm.
And then, like,
Boom.
10 years later, there's like 5 of them. And then there's 25.
Yeah.
And now it's completely built up.
Yeah. And now if you really want to get to the sticks, you got to move even farther now.
Up into the thumb where
Yep.
nobody dares to go.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.